Did you know that some of your everyday habits might be quietly cutting years off your life? As we journey through our 60s, 70s, and beyond, the way we think about health naturally shifts. It's no longer just about doing more, taking more supplements, exercising harder, or piling on routines. Often the key to better health lies not in adding more, but in doing less. Less of the habits that quietly drain our vitality. Sometimes the most transformative changes come not from what we start doing, but from what we finally stop. In today's video, we're going to explore 10 everyday habits that could be slowly taking a toll on your health and longevity. These habits are so common that you might not even realize they're impacting you. The encouraging news is that making a difference doesn't mean drastic changes or following the latest health fads. It's about simple, thoughtful choices grounded in common sense, personal experience, and the insights of medical professionals and longevity experts. These experts have been quietly advocating for these changes for years, emphasizing that small adjustments can have a profound impact on well-being. We'll look at subtle daily actions that can wear down your body over time and mental patterns that gradually erode your sense of well-being. These habits are surprisingly prevalent among older adults, but can be addressed with a little awareness and the courage to make different choices. If you've ever wondered how some people remain energetic, sharp, and resilient well into their 80s and 90s, the answers might lie in what they avoid as much as what they embrace. Stick with us until the end, because number 10 might just change the way you think about your own habits. It could even give you permission to let go of the burdens that no longer serve you and live a lighter, more vibrant life. Let's dive in. Number 1. Constant worry over small things. Constant worry over small things is more than just a habit. It's a mindset that can quietly erode your well-being. Worry has a sneaky way of creeping into your day, slipping through your thoughts without asking permission. It starts small, a fleeting concern, a what-if scenario, and before you know it, your mind is spinning in circles, stressing over things that either already happened or may never come to pass. Some level of worry is normal and even necessary. It helps us prepare for challenges and navigate risks. However, when worry becomes constant and focused on minor issues, it transforms into a slow, silent form of harm. Chronic stress and worry can have a profound impact on your body. They affect your sleep, making restful nights harder to come by. They disrupt your digestion, leaving you feeling uneasy. Your heart rate might increase, and over time, even your immune system can become compromised. Research consistently shows that chronic stress shortens telomeres, protective caps on your DNA that influence cellular aging. Essentially, persistent worry can speed up the aging process, both mentally and physically. By the time many of us reach our 60s and beyond, we often look back and realize just how much energy we've spent on this mental noise. We worry about what people think of us, about small inconveniences, or about things far beyond our control. This realization can be a turning point, an understanding that constant worry is draining and unproductive. Choosing peace over panic becomes not just a preference, but a necessity. Not because the world suddenly becomes predictable or safe, but because we finally decide that our own nervous system deserves protection. The truth is that most of the things we worry about never actually happen. Think about it. How many times have you lost sleep over something that turned out to be insignificant? How many times did you exhaust yourself with worry, only to find out later that it wasn't worth the distress? Those who live long, fulfilling lives have something important in common. They've made peace with uncertainty. They've learned to let go of the illusion of control and focus on what truly matters. Letting go of constant worry doesn't mean becoming careless or indifferent. Instead, it means being more selective with your thoughts. It means asking yourself, is this mine to carry? Is this worth disturbing my peace? Over time, you develop a mental discipline, redirecting your thoughts, choosing calm instead of chaos. It's a process of building resilience, training your mind to pause and reconsider before spiraling into stress. In the end, those who embrace this mindset find that they gain more than just peace of mind. They gain years of better health and a higher quality of life. By choosing to let go of unnecessary worry, they protect not only their mental well-being, but also their physical vitality. It's a small but powerful shift that makes a profound difference, allowing them to live not just longer, but happier and healthier lives. Number 2, sitting for long hours without movement. One of the most overlooked threats to health as we age is something we do almost every day without a second thought: sitting. It doesn't seem harmful at first glance. After all, we sit to relax, to work, to watch TV, to read, or to drive. But it's not just the act of sitting that poses a problem. It's sitting for long, uninterrupted periods that quietly chips away at our well-being. Think about it. Sitting still for hours on end significantly slows circulation, weakens muscles, and can increase inflammation throughout the body. It doesn't feel dramatic, but the effects accumulate over time. Medical professionals now refer to prolonged sitting as the new smoking because of its profound impact on health. Studies have linked extended sedentary periods to serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, joint stiffness, and even early mortality. Here's the surprising part. Even if you exercise regularly, it doesn't completely offset the harm caused by too much sitting. You might go for a brisk morning walk, but if you then spend most of the day sitting, at a desk, on the couch, or even during social activities, the damage still adds up. What truly matters is not just how long you move in a single session, but how frequently you break up your sitting time. Many older adults, particularly those in retirement, find themselves falling into a calm yet sedentary rhythm. A little morning TV, a meal at the table, then some time sitting in the garden or reading a book. Maybe a short nap in the afternoon. Before you know it, most of the day has been spent sitting down. It's not a sign of laziness, but rather a routine that's easy to fall into, one that feels comfortable and familiar. Yet it's this very routine that quietly harms your health. The human body is designed for movement, not prolonged stillness. Circulation, muscle activation, and regular changes in position are crucial for keeping the body functioning optimally. Even small adjustments to your routine can make a big difference. Try standing up every 30 minutes, doing light stretches while you wait for your coffee to brew, or walking around the room during phone calls. Just a few minutes of gentle activity every hour can reactivate your system, promoting better circulation and reducing the risk of chronic conditions. People who live long, active lives often share one key habit: they stay in motion. Not necessarily through rigorous exercise or gym routines, but by naturally integrating movement into their daily lives. They garden, climb stairs, tidy the house, or take walks around the neighborhood. Movement doesn't have to be intense, it just needs to be consistent. Adopting this mindset means making movement a normal part of your routine rather than something you do only when you exercise. It's about shifting from a sedentary lifestyle to one where you're frequently on your feet, even for just a few minutes at a time. This simple change can drastically improve cardiovascular health, maintain muscle strength, and enhance overall vitality. If you're watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment with the number 2 to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content to inform and inspire you. Let's keep moving forward, literally and figuratively, toward a healthier, more active life. Number 3, eating late at night. One of the seemingly harmless habits that can quietly undermine your health is eating too close to bedtime. For years, many of us have held on to the idea that a little bedtime snack is no big deal, perhaps even comforting. However, both science and personal experience are telling a different story. Regularly eating late, especially heavy or sugary foods, can disrupt your digestion, spike your blood sugar, and interfere with your body's natural rhythm of rest and repair. Your body is remarkably attuned to cycles, and after sunset, it starts to wind down. Metabolism slows, organs transition from active digestion to recovery, and your body enters a state geared towards rest. But when you eat right before bed, you essentially force your body to work through the night, rather than allowing it to recharge. This can lead to poor sleep quality, indigestion, and, over time, increased risks of weight gain, acid reflux, and even cardiovascular issues. What many people don't realize is that your liver and gut actually thrive when they have extended breaks from food, particularly overnight. During sleep, your body takes advantage of this fasting period to detoxify, rebalance hormones, and restore energy. Late-night eating interrupts this essential process. Instead of focusing on repair, your body is busy breaking down food, leading to less restorative sleep. Over time, this disruption can build up, manifesting in groggy mornings, decreased energy, increased inflammation, and even subtle shifts in memory and mood. Consider how you feel after a night of late eating, perhaps bloated, restless, or waking up feeling sluggish. That's not a coincidence. When your digestive system is active at night, it can interfere with deep sleep and leave you feeling unrested. Even if you fall asleep easily, the quality of your sleep may be compromised, as your body is still processing food instead of focusing on cellular repair. The good news is that you don't have to make drastic changes to see a difference. A simple shift, finishing dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before lying down, can work wonders. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds. Some people notice improvements in sleep quality within just a few days. They wake up feeling lighter, more refreshed, and without that familiar morning fog. It's important to remember that longevity and health aren't always about adding new habits or taking the latest supplement. Sometimes it's about recognizing the small, everyday patterns that are doing more harm than good. Allowing your body to rest when it naturally wants to is one of the simplest yet most powerful adjustments you can make. Your body already knows how to heal itself. It just needs the space to do so. Giving it a break from late-night eating is one of the most gentle and effective ways to support its natural rhythm. By simply respecting your body's nightly need for rest, you're giving yourself the gift of better sleep, improved digestion, and ultimately a healthier, more resilient life. Number 4, suppressing your emotions. There's a quiet, almost invisible damage that happens when you spend years swallowing your feelings. For many older adults, especially those who were raised to be polite, composed, or emotionally resilient, keeping things in can feel second nature. You might think you're keeping the peace, maintaining control, or simply being strong. But the reality is that unexpressed emotions don't just vanish into thin air. They find a place to settle, and more often than not, that place is within your body. The cost of this silence doesn't just affect your mood or outlook. It can show up in tangible physical ways that medicine alone cannot fix. Decades of research have shown that chronic emotional suppression is linked to elevated blood pressure, heart disease, insomnia, and even autoimmune issues. When you bottle up emotions like grief, anger, resentment, or fear, your nervous system stays on high alert, stuck in a low-level fight-or-flight state. Your body becomes tense, your heart rate increases, and your stress response shifts from being an occasional reaction to a constant underlying presence. You might notice frequent headaches, digestive issues, or muscle tightness, but often the root cause is not just physical, it's emotional tension that hasn't been given an outlet. This doesn't mean you need to become confrontational or loud. Expressing emotions isn't about outbursts or making a scene. Instead, it's about allowing yourself the basic human right to feel, to name what's real, and to acknowledge what's happening inside you. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, "That hurt," or "I need some space," or even just admitting, "I'm not okay right now." Far from being a sign of weakness, these statements are acts of self-preservation. They show you're still engaged with your own experience, still processing, still growing. In fact, many of the world's longest living individuals share a common trait. They don't carry emotional burdens for too long. They find healthy ways to let go, whether through conversation, prayer, journaling, or even a quiet private cry. By allowing emotion to pass through you instead of getting stuck inside, you invite lightness back into your body. You might be surprised at how much better you sleep, how your shoulders naturally relax, or how your appetite becomes more balanced. The body, when given the space for emotional honesty, responds with a sense of safety and trust. That trust, in turn, promotes health, ease, and often a longer, more fulfilling life. Emotional health is not just about happiness or positivity. It's about allowing the full range of human experience to move through you without judgment. By expressing how you feel, even in small, quiet ways, you affirm that your inner world matters. You reduce the burden on your body and mind, and you give yourself permission to live with a bit more freedom. So take a moment to ask yourself, are you carrying emotional weight that you no longer need to hold on to? If so, consider finding a safe way to release it, whether through talking to a trusted friend, writing your thoughts down, or simply admitting to yourself that it's okay to feel. This practice of letting go is not just emotional self-care. It's a fundamental part of maintaining physical and mental well-being as you age. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. Your support allows us to continue creating content that informs, inspires, and empowers you. Let's keep moving forward together. Number 5. Over-consuming processed sugar. Sugar has a way of sneaking into your life without you even noticing. A teaspoon in your morning coffee, a couple of cookies after lunch, or a slice of cake at a social gathering. Individually, these small indulgences don't seem like much. But when they add up day after day, they can quietly take a toll on your health, especially as you age. The less processed sugar you consume, the better your chances of avoiding inflammation, memory loss, and chronic disease. As we get older, our metabolism naturally slows down. This means that the body becomes more sensitive to sugar's effects, and what might have seemed harmless in your 30s can now disrupt your energy levels, spike blood sugar, and put extra stress on your heart, liver, and kidneys. You might notice that what once gave you a quick energy boost now leaves you feeling sluggish or mentally foggy. The problem is that sugar is addictive. Once your brain gets used to the quick rush it provides, it craves more, leading you into a cycle of wanting sweets even when your body's telling you it's had enough. Research has increasingly shown that excessive sugar intake is linked to a host of chronic conditions, from type 2 diabetes to heart disease and even dementia. One of the most concerning effects is how high blood sugar can damage blood vessels, including those in the brain. Over time, this damage can accelerate cognitive decline, leading to increased forgetfulness, brain fog, or mood swings. For older adults, these subtle changes might feel like part of aging when, in fact, they're often tied to diet. But here's the good news. Cutting back on sugar, even just a little, can make a noticeable difference. Many people find that when they reduce their sugar intake, they think more clearly, have more stable energy throughout the day, and sleep better at night. It's not about completely eliminating everything sweet from your life. It's about making more mindful choices, like opting for natural sugar sources such as fruit and cutting down on added sugars in processed foods, cereals, sauces, and drinks. Often, just becoming aware of where sugar hides is the first step toward healthier habits. The amazing thing is how your body responds when you make these changes. Your taste buds adjust, your cravings decrease, and that sense of constant fatigue begins to lift. Many older adults who cut back on sugar share the same realization. I didn't realize how tired I'd been until I stopped. Because sugar, while offering a quick lift, ultimately drains more energy than it provides. Choosing less sugar isn't about deprivation. It's about giving your body the chance to thrive. It's about preserving your energy, your mental clarity, and your overall well-being. The choice to reduce sugar may seem small, but over time, it adds up, contributing to a healthier, more vibrant life. Think of it as a gradual shift rather than a drastic change. Start by swapping sugary snacks for a handful of nuts or a piece of fresh fruit. Cut down on sweetened beverages by replacing them with water or herbal tea. Over time, you'll likely notice that your desire for sweets decreases and your overall sense of vitality increases. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. The less sugar you consume, the more you allow your body to heal, stabilize, and function at its best. It's about restoring balance rather than restricting joy. And in the end, that small, consistent effort can lead to not just more years in your life, but more life in your years. Number 6, ignoring sleep signals. One of the most overlooked yet vital contributors to a longer, healthier life is also one of the simplest. Sleep. Not just any sleep, though. It's about responding to your body's natural signals when it's asking for rest. Far too many older adults push through drowsiness, stay up late watching television, or disrupt their sleep patterns by keeping irregular bedtimes. While it may seem harmless at the moment, consistently ignoring your body's call for rest can have a profound impact on your overall health. Sleep is not merely about feeling refreshed the next day. It's when your brain undergoes a critical cleaning process, flushing out toxins and consolidating memories. Your tissues repair themselves, muscles recover, and your hormones, including those that regulate stress and appetite, find balance. Every system in your body reaps the benefits of consistent, quality sleep. And the older you get, the more crucial this becomes. When you disregard your body's natural cues, staying up despite feeling tired, eating too close to bedtime, or allowing screens to keep your mind alert, you interfere with this essential process of cellular restoration. Listening to your body's signals doesn't require drastic changes. It's about tuning into the subtle hints. Notice when your eyelids begin to feel heavy, or when your concentration starts to wane in the evening. That's your body's way of telling you it's time to rest. Instead of pushing through or brushing it off, consider preparing your environment to support relaxation. Dim the lights, limit screen time, and allow yourself a moment of quiet reflection or gentle stretching. These small acts send a powerful message to your nervous system. It's safe to relax. People who live long and healthy lives often have something in common. They respect their sleep rhythms. It's not about adhering to a rigid schedule, but honoring a natural pattern that your body recognizes. They don't see sleep as a burden or an inconvenience, but as a sacred part of their daily routine. Whether it's going to bed when they feel tired, avoiding heavy meals before sleep, or practicing relaxation techniques, they maintain a relationship with rest that benefits both body and mind. It's also important to recognize that good sleep hygiene is not about perfection, but intention. It's about recognizing what your body is whispering to you and choosing to listen before it has to shout. Maybe it means setting a consistent bedtime or creating a calming pre-sleep routine. Perhaps it's something as simple as sipping a warm herbal tea instead of scrolling through your phone one last time. These small intentional choices add up to significant benefits. By treating sleep as a priority rather than an afterthought, you can experience more energy throughout the day, better digestion, sharper memory, and a stronger immune system. It's not just about adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. So take a deep breath, listen to your body, and make rest a sacred part of your routine. You deserve it. Number 7, isolating yourself from others. It's one of those habits that can quietly sneak into your life, especially as you get older. It doesn't always look dramatic or even intentional. It might start with skipping a social event because you're tired, then choosing to stay home rather than meet up with friends, and before you know it, days or weeks have gone by without a real, meaningful conversation. Isolation doesn't just mean being physically alone. It's about gradually withdrawing from the world, convincing yourself that it's easier to keep to yourself than to reach out. At first, it might feel peaceful or even comfortable, but the long-term effects can be profound and damaging. Studies consistently show that social isolation significantly increases the risk of cognitive decline, depression, and even early mortality. It might surprise you to know that chronic loneliness can be as detrimental to your health as smoking or obesity. Yet because it happens so subtly, it often goes unnoticed, not just by others, but by yourself. One of the reasons isolation is so insidious is because it's easy to rationalize. You might tell yourself that people are too busy, that you're fine on your own, or that after years of socializing, it's okay to just enjoy solitude. And while some solitude is indeed healthy, persistent isolation isn't. Human beings by nature are wired for connection. We thrive on social bonds, especially as we move through the later stages of life. Even those who consider themselves independent need moments of human interaction to stay mentally and emotionally well. The tricky part is that it doesn't take much to start reversing the effects of isolation. You don't need to throw yourself into large gatherings or force friendships that don't feel right. Small intentional actions can make a big difference. A brief chat with your neighbor while taking out the trash, a phone call to a friend just to check in, a casual conversation with the cashier at the store. These simple moments remind you that you're still a part of the world around you, that you're seen and valued. If you found yourself pulling back lately, consider this a gentle nudge to reconnect. Maybe it's time to call that old friend you've been thinking about, or to visit the community center where people gather for coffee and conversation. Even small, consistent efforts can help rebuild the fabric of connection in your life. Number 8, rushing through meals. In our fast-paced world, eating slowly has become almost a forgotten practice. We eat on the go, in front of screens, or while multitasking, barely noticing what's on our plate. But as we move into our 60s and beyond, how we eat becomes just as important as what we eat. Rushing through meals not only compromises digestion, but can lead to overeating, poor nutrient absorption, and increased risks of chronic issues like heartburn, bloating, and weight gain. When you eat too quickly, your body doesn't have enough time to register fullness. You may consume more than you actually need before your brain catches up, leaving you feeling uncomfortably full afterward. For older adults, this can be especially problematic since metabolism naturally slows down and digestion becomes more delicate with age. A heavy meal eaten too quickly can leave you feeling sluggish, disrupt your blood sugar levels, and trigger digestive discomfort for hours. It's not just about the physical effects, though. Rushing through meals also means missing out on the emotional and sensory nourishment that food provides. Meals are not just fuel. They're moments of connection with your body, with your emotions, and with life itself. Taking the time to eat slowly allows you to fully experience the taste, texture, and warmth of your food. Chewing thoroughly not only aids digestion, but also allows your brain to process the experience, signaling satisfaction more effectively. People who live long, healthy lives often approach meals with a sense of reverence. They don't view eating as a chore, but as a moment to pause, reflect, and nourish their bodies. Whether dining alone or with loved ones, they give themselves time, not just to eat, but to digest both their food and their thoughts. This mindful approach carries over into other areas of life, influencing how they handle stress, sleep, and the challenges that come with aging. Adopting this gentler, more mindful way of eating isn't about being rigid or perfect. It's about treating meals as a moment of care and gratitude, a practice that not only supports physical health, but also nurtures a deeper sense of well-being. And when you make this shift, you may find that your body responds with more energy, better digestion, and a peaceful, satisfied mind. Number 9, staying in toxic environments. One of the most challenging lessons to embrace as we age is realizing that peace of mind is not a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. Yet so many people find themselves entrenched in environments that slowly chip away at their well-being, sometimes for years or even decades. It might be a relationship where you constantly feel small or undervalued, a social circle filled with gossip and criticism, or even a household where conflict is always lurking just below the surface. Chronic exposure to this kind of emotional stress is more than just unpleasant. It can have serious health consequences. Your body responds to toxic environments by raising cortisol levels, which over time wears down your immune system, disrupts sleep patterns, and increases the risk of hypertension, digestive issues, and even mood disorders like anxiety or depression. Medical research shows that long-term stress can lead to inflammation in the body, which is linked to a host of chronic conditions, including heart disease and cognitive decline. After the age of 60, your tolerance for such environments often decreases, not because you become weaker, but because you become wiser. You start to see that longevity isn't just about diet and exercise. It's about creating a safe, supportive, and nurturing atmosphere. Your health is as much about your surroundings as it is about your habits. At this stage in life, you begin to recognize that the most powerful health decision you can make might not involve what you put on your plate, but rather who you choose to keep in your life. Making a change doesn't always mean cutting people off entirely or leaving familiar spaces abruptly. Sometimes it's about setting firmer boundaries, expressing your needs more openly, and carving out emotional space for yourself, even within difficult situations. It might mean limiting your interactions with those who drain you or minimizing exposure to environments that consistently unsettle your peace. But in other cases, it's about letting go completely, walking away from relationships that no longer serve your well-being, or moving out of spaces where you don't feel safe or valued. If you find yourself feeling consistently uneasy or drained, listen to that discomfort. It's not a sign of weakness. It's your body's wisdom guiding you toward healthier spaces. The less time you spend in toxic environments, the more energy you have to invest in things that genuinely nourish your soul. Hobbies, positive relationships, creative pursuits, or simply enjoying your own company. If this message resonates with you, consider it a gentle nudge to evaluate the spaces and relationships in your life. Sometimes choosing peace means making the brave decision to step away, to let go, and to give yourself permission to heal. And in doing so, you create more room for joy, clarity, and a life that feels truly livable. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 9 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 10, overusing alcohol or self-medication. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to what we consume, including alcohol, over-the-counter medications, and even herbal supplements. What once seemed harmless, a nightly glass of wine, a sleep aid, or a drink to unwind, can begin to have a much stronger impact on your liver, brain, and overall vitality. Though no one intends to harm themselves, the habit of turning to quick fixes can slowly become a pattern that diminishes both the length and quality of your life. Alcohol, in particular, affects older adults differently. As muscle mass decreases and water retention changes, the body processes alcohol more slowly. What may have been a mild drink in your 40s can now have a stronger effect. This can lead to slower reaction times, disrupted sleep, higher blood pressure, and in some cases, unnoticed changes until something more serious happens, like a fall or memory loss that leads to concern from your doctor. The same principle applies to other substances, such as sleep aids, pain relievers, or anti-anxiety medications, when taken without close supervision. While they may provide temporary relief, prolonged use can cloud your thinking, weaken your balance, or put stress on your organs. What starts as an occasional habit can gradually evolve into a dependency that leaves you feeling more foggy, fatigued, and vulnerable. Choosing to reduce the use of these substances doesn't mean you never enjoy a glass of wine or avoid necessary medication. It means becoming more mindful of what your body's telling you. It means asking, is this truly helping me heal, or is it just a way of avoiding what I'm feeling? More often than not, it's about finding healthier ways to unwind, whether that's going for a walk, taking a warm bath, or engaging in a meaningful conversation. These activities not only soothe your system, but also nourish it. People who live long, healthy lives tend to use less of these substances, not more. They don't rely on alcohol or medication to manage their mood or force their body into rest. Instead, they listen to their body and work in harmony with it. This choice, repeated day after day, preserves not just their years, but their clarity, independence, and joy. If you find that something has become a habitual crutch that no longer serves you, it's never too late to reassess. This isn't about guilt, but about respect for your body and the life you're working to protect. In conclusion, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on which of these 10 habits might be most present in your life. Which one feels familiar, not because it's beneficial, but because it's become part of your routine. Longevity isn't always about adding more. It's often about removing the things that weigh you down, the habits that cause stress, the behaviors that deplete your health, the patterns that take more than they give. And you don't need to change everything overnight. Often just becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward a healthier life. Thank you for being here today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it to your life. Your feedback is valuable to us, and we truly appreciate the opportunity to connect with you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.